Hello, everyone, and welcome to D2C Dialogues. Today, we have with us Sudeep Ghosh, founder, CEO of Uppercase. Their LinkedIn profile goes like this: Uppercase, never ordinary. About us, we are a D2C company building India's biggest and global D2C sustainable travel accessories brand. Our brand Uppercase is built specifically for the fashion forward, socially active, new age customer while sharing their concern for the planet. Welcome to the show, Sudeep.
Thank you, Dr. Bhatt.
First question that comes in my mind, with your rich experience, Sudeep ji, you started your career decades back as a sales executive and reached on to become the leader of topmost brand in the country in the luggage segment, and then you started Uppercase. Can you tell us about your journey succinctly and what made you start Uppercase?
Thank you, Dr. Bhatt. I think it's a question that I also keep asking myself: how did I start Uppercase? I think somewhere I always wanted to start on my own. I just, didn't take a call because good things kept happening. I kept on growing in my professional career. When COVID hit, it was difficult for all of us, especially people who are in the travel industry. Our cash flows overnight became zero. A lot of people were let go. I myself had to kind of cut down the same organization that I built over the years into half. And those were very painful moments. But COVID also taught us some good things. One is COVID taught us that business can be done very, very differently, and it can be done much more cost effectively without impacting the lifestyle of people who are working there. Um, uh, Primarily, I realized that there's a lot of technology that could be used, uh, and therefore operate with a far more leaner, yet pretty successful team. So that is the time, I felt, and I was at a juncture in my life where I knew that, if I quit and I move out and look for a job, I would again probably get the, same level job, which was I was a managing director with my previous company, but it would be in a different industry, but doing the same work. And I've always been, a sucker for challenges, I guess, and it's a very cliche thing to say, but yeah, it is. Um, and I said, let me do something on my own because um, that was the right time. I always believe things happen when the right time comes. So that is when we started Uppercase as a concept. The space that we saw was that across the world, across the global spectrum, there were brands of travel gear. Everybody used plastic, and that's not good for the environment. So we said, can we create luggage which is sustainable, which is made out of recycled material, and that is where the journey started. And therefore, Never Ordinary is about us, a story about the brand, which is Uppercase, the product, which is sustainable, the design, which is never ordinarily, fashion, and the set of people who believe less is more, because we believe that though we are, we whatever we do, our strategy is that we do less, but we create more impact. So that's why Never Ordinary is, and that's how we started Uppercase.
I think this is an awesome beginning. Your all the core ingredients of a wonderful, beautiful, tasteful recipe were already there. Never ordinary, sustainable, fashionable. All those things you got it, Sudeepji. But tell us, from waste to wanderlust, the plastic to travel transformation. How does Uppercase innovate, in turning this discarded plastic into fashionable travel essentials and many other things that you spoke in your introduction? Can you, highlight those things exactly what it is?
So we are the first company in India to have got a GRS certificate, which is Global Recycling Standard Certificate, wherein our soft luggage and backpacks are 50% of the material that we use are made out of plastic bottles, PET bottles. It's a chain of certification that happens from the people who collect the bottles to people who make the plastic, dana jisko bolte hain, from there to the fabric to the cloth to us in manufacturing. So it's a process which we say it's a little expensive process than if you have to take a regular polyester and do it. It's about 30% more expensive because there are a couple of more stages which are involved before it can actually turn into a cloth. But we said we will, it's okay. People will pay us on this, provided we are not just sustainable, but a very high fashion product. So currently, we don't believe that India is ready to pay the premium for being sustainable. But if everything else is same or maybe better than what is available, and if you are sustainable, then that's an added emotional quotient that a consumer goes for and buys our product. And I think somewhere it has started working because in terms of features, strength, design, we are at par with any of the global brands that is available in the market. And we give an added advantage of the consumer to feel good that by buying our product, they have done something to the society. So that's the added advantage. Someday, in next 5, 10, 15 years, I don't know when India will be ready to appreciate sustainable product. We would then like to flip. So today we are fashionable product which is sustainable. Going forward, as I said, 5 years down the line, 10 years down the line, would like to be a sustainable product which is fashionable. So we are going to flip it, but I don't know when to flip it. So currently, all our communication, if you see, talks about some feature or the other and ends with sustainability. And that is how we are going to slowly build on it. Because as I said, for us to see tomorrow, we have to survive today, and to survive today, we have to sell today. And we have to sell today on a proposition that people like, and people want feature, fashion, strength, trust in a luggage, and we provide all of that, and we add a layer of sustainability to it.
I think that flip part was, very nicely articulated, because ultimately you are giving both, but it's a matter of communication. Style today, sustainability tomorrow, and you flip it. So that's the way you are communicating. How did you go about, making this? So is it a make or a buy, the decision that you had to make? Because in your introduction you spoke about cost, and it's not feasible, to
we had to create everything. It had to be made because the entire supply chain has to be GRS certified. Our factories have to. GRS has very strict norms, not only on sustainability, but the labor, the timing, inclusiveness, how many women work. So there is a strict. It's a European body which gives the certificate, and we have a large. So we have to create the factories. So all these factories are third-party factories which are exclusive with us. We have invested on them, and we created these factories right from beginning. So buying was out of question, because when you go and buy, you don't get what you want. We wanted to create something which is very different, which is very unique for us and unique to the Indian consumers. And therefore, we created the entire supply chain from scratch. It took us a year to create. Fortunately, we got people to support us, and and here we are today. We are operating now across the country, and a very nice mix of different channels. We started off as a D2C, but we very quickly realized that there's only an X amount of thing that can happen through D2C. Today, we are online and offline sale is almost 50-50. And I think we're a hybrid model, and I think that's the best model that can go once if you really want to scale it up into a different orbit.
So as a hybrid model, you started as a D2C brand, but you have been a leader in the luggage industry, Sudeepji. You could have started as an offline player, because you had all the channels and the connects and the experience and the exposure to just ensure that Uppercase is there everywhere. But tell us something about the channels that you thought initially, and how you went about doing it, and what are your future plans of expanding the channels, both online as well as offline.
it reminds me, yeah, I could have started, but that's a little easier thing to do. I remember, discussing this, and I remember, one of the dialogues that, Amir Khan had said when we were shooting for this film called Dangal. He first became fat and then became thin, not the other way around. He did not shoot the places where he was himself and then became fat, because according to him, he said, once I do that, then I will not get the motivation to come back. Right. So first he ate, became fat, shot those, and then because he had to do the film, he had to put in all the effort to become the leaner and thinner version of his what he is. And actually, so for me, if I had started with offline, I think I wouldn't have been able to give justice to online. So I had to learn online much better than offline. So we started with online, and that was the whole idea. Offline could happen anytime. So we just picked it up after, say, 4 months of our online establishment. And we also started operating very differently from what other companies do in online. So most of the big brands in luggage industry, at least, they sell to online. We don't sell to online. We sell on online. The difference is we do not sell to Amazon, to Flipkart, or to Myntra. We sell ourselves on their platform. So we control the price, we control the product that and we do not. One of the biggest problems of managing both online offline, and this my experience told me, is to the channel conflicts that you have. I wanted to avoid that, and I was very clear from day one that we would only operate on marketplace, and that's what we had done. So yes, we started with online, and then today we have almost 18 distributors across the country, and we plan to hit about 30 distributors by end of the calendar year.
That's the game that you are, you have played over the years and mastered it. The dealer distribution channel, and even your experience over the decades. But what were the impediments for you when you started? The product was created, but now you had to market it. So to one channel that you have mastered, so that was not an issue. The first thing that comes in the mind is the customer. That what is for the customer, how do you communicate what uppercase or uppercase exists or not? That is one. And what is the value proposition that a customer gets when if he has to buy uppercase. So these two things is something which I feel was challenging enough as a starting brand.
Yeah, so we said we want to talk to people who are not ordinary. We wanted to talk to people who believe that ordinary is boring, and therefore we said we are never ordinary. We will do things very differently, whether it's product, it's communication. We chose to spend on a celebrity because we felt that celebrity can take the story further with a much more conviction. We got a celebrity on the brand, and we shot the whole film, the whole campaign. We shot it in London last year to give it a very premium feel, because, as I said, we are selling fashion and lifestyle. It's not just a travel gear that we're selling. And we wanted it to look, feel, because when a new brand comes, consumers buy brands for two reasons. One, obviously, for the usage of the product. Second, they also buy because they feel a connection to the brand. And we wanted people to feel that whatever they're buying, they're not only sustainable, but it's high on fashion and one of the best that they can get in that price. So we had to speak about it, and we had to kind of, get the story out in the overall market. And we have. I don't think we should. I can say that we have been 100% successful, but we have been kind of able to get people to understand that we are a great brand to be in, and a lot of people are believing in us, and we are seeing good attraction to the brand.
If you can tell us about the offline and online distribution as a percentage, what would be the percentage sales at this stage?
50-50 now.
50-50. Okay. How are you navigating the digital and the physical supply chain? We want to know your experience in that part.
So we operate through our 3PL partners like any other brand. You come, you can buy our products in our own website, or you go to Amazon, Flipkart, or any of the other big platforms. You get delivery at home. And you go to a store, you buy there, and you can pick up the product from there. We are also starting our own retail slowly. and we would operate through the top 50 malls of the country, and that is what we will work on. So yeah, it's like any regular supply chain. The only thing is that we have the ability to reach the customer one-on-one, primarily because of our D2C background. So even the retail that we're doing it in a very different way. I can't really divulge the thing, but though it's a retail which is backed by technology. Let me put it that way. And we are giving a very unique proposition, or we plan to very unique proposition that none of the retailers have ever given to end consumer. Since we are working on it at this very moment, I'm not
Sure.
in a position to divulge it. But once you hear, start seeing a communication around it, you will realize that, oh wow, this can also be done.
So
So
I
they are
can
also
just guess and, yeah, I can just guess and think aloud. It's more omni-channel, more personalization, more
yes, and we are. It's not ordinary.
and it's not ordinary. With that, how costly is Uppercase?
So we are not cheap. We are not the entry because, as I said, our costs are, the raw material is 30% more expensive, but we are also not very expensive. So I mean, I've operated in the luggage segment for many years to understand that if you become too expensive, the consumers will not buy. So we operate in the sweet spot. We are at par with any of your American Tourister or a VIP price. We are definitely not an entry segment product, or neither we wish to be. But I think Indian consumers today, the middle class is big enough for brands to target, and there are fence sitters, but people do. If your product is good, then you would also get some of the people who are looking for an entry level price point. If they like the product, they kind of come and spend. So we are not very expensive. We would be about, like as I said, we are at par with an American Tourister or a VIP price point.
Okay. And from a product range, can you tell us what product range you have?
So we now have hard luggage. It is a difficult one because it was very difficult to create um, um, uh, hard luggage to be sustainable. But today we are very happy that we are one of the strongest, products which are there. We are introducing a new concept called elephant pressure. You have heard of horsepower, right? Horsepower, when we say this car has got so much horsepower, or that bike has so much horsepower, you know how fast the bike is. So what we are saying is, we say hard luggage is tough, but how tough? So for instance, our lowest hard luggage is the one that we've launched. You need 628 Indian elephants to crack the shell. We have tested it, the pressure in laboratory condition, and the one that we're now launching is a shell that you need 900 elephants to crush. So you actually, the moment we said that, why is it X and why is it X plus one in terms of pricing, you would know that, okay, this is for 600 elephant, this is for 900 elephant, which clearly tells you that the 900 elephant is more stronger than the 600 elephant. Not that the 600 elephant is weak, because it's a lot of pressure that you need to crack that shell. But yeah, I just have to ensure that it is, and yet it is made out of recycled materials. So it's a fine line that we are trading, and we know what the recipe to create a luggage which is strong yet sustainable. So we have hard luggage, we have soft luggage, we have backpacks, we are launching business bags. We have the entire range. We may not have, or we don't intend to have, the kind of huge SKUs that other brands have. It kind of because, like I said, I realize that we can do business at a far lower costs, and working capital is a cost, and therefore you need to manage that very well. So we'll have limited but very, very good products for consumers to buy.
Now, coming back to the Never Ordinary story, you spoke about shooting in London, etc. What prompted your decision to collaborate with Jasprit Bumrah, as a brand ambassador?
See,
And yeah.
Yeah, so we wanted a central celebrity who would anchor the story for us. Jasprit Bumrah himself is not an ordinary bowler. Look at his action. His action is not ordinary. He runs about 10 steps to deliver the fastest bowling. He is not conventional. He never played Ranji. He's been straight away played IPL and played India. His journey has never been an ordinary, and he's a very serious guy. So we wanted somebody who is not never ordinary, yet has been very successful, and yes, is serious to deliver a serious. See, sustainability is a very serious topic, right? To us, fashion is something that can be seen, and we have a lot of influencers who keep on running the campaigns. But the core message of sustainability needed to be given by somebody who is not ordinary himself. And Jasprit was the right fit for us, and we still believe he is. Unfortunately, he got injured and he was out of the team for some time. Hopefully, I think 17 onwards, the new series is starting. He's the captain now, and I hope he comes back very strong and plays for India and helps us to win the World Cup. Even when he was not playing, you and I can make out the need. We lost the test series. We lost a lot of these games because we didn't have a good bowler. So hopefully, he comes back and he delivers like we deliver all the time as a brand, and therefore Jasprit was a very very clear choice for us.
Okay. Now coming to the next part is the luggage business. How easy or difficult it is in today's condition as far as India is concerned, in today's market, from the customer demand, from the customer's perspective, and from the trade perspective. So it has been, traditionally there are a couple of players, and they have been the market leaders. You have worked with a couple of them. Now, how easy or difficult it is for an entrepreneur to start luggage startup?
See, for an entrepreneur like me, it was not difficult because I knew most of them. I knew where to buy, what to buy. I had a very clear understanding of the market. For somebody who is coming in from outside, it is very difficult because that learning curve has to happen. But I think for any business that you start, if you have conviction, if you have believe in yourself, you can learn fast. And if you don't have, every business is difficult. No business is easy, no business is difficult. It's all about the people who are doing it. And for me, it was, I've been doing this for many years. It's just that now we are doing it for our own brand. Saying that, was it easy? No. We had to make people see, because when I operated, I was managing director of a listed company, and suddenly I was this guy who didn't have anything. So there were a lot of paradigm shift, but I must tell you this, and this I keep saying this to my team and whoever I can get, hold. I said, if you're good and if you do good, people do remember. And the kind of response that I got from the trade or from the trade partners when I went there as an individual to them, was actually, they were much more, friendly to me and very surprising than what they were when I was to go there as an MD of a large company. So I think people remember you. People remember you because you have been truthful. You have delivered value to them, and they know that you mean business, because even today when I go and meet them, if I call for a dealer meet, everybody comes. I've had like exactly what used to happen, and I've been very grateful to God and to all the good deeds probably I would have done, because I've got tremendous support, and it's been a decent journey.
Sudeepji, you have been a veteran in the industry. How easy it was for you to get the funding and the finance? Because to get the confidence of the financial community is easy as well as difficult. More so it's difficult. But you being a veteran in the industry, was that an added advantage?
I must tell you the story. I started looking for fund to start a luggage company when the second wave was hitting. Okay, the world was shutting down. I remember it was difficult to get people to come for meetings, because many a times you get COVID, a lot of sadness all around, and I was starting a luggage company of travel of all categories. But believe it or not, I just took about 35 days, I think, to get my first funding. So I think I had a good proposition. And we, of course, being from the industry, it helped. I ticked all the boxes, I guess. My proposition was good. Funds ask some 5 very important questions. I keep saying this. If you have answers to all the 5 questions, you will get the money. And the
what are those 5 questions?
Very simple. It is, what is your story? Second, why the hell should I hear the story from you? Second, why can't somebody else tell you the story? Fourth is what is there in for me in that story. And fifth, why would the consumer believe your story?
Wow.
If you can answer these 5 questions, no matter what category you're operating, no matter what business you want to do, you will be able to get money. Again, I'm repeating, the first story is what is your story? Second, why the hell I should hear the story from you? Why should I, who are you to tell me the story? Literally. Second. Third question is, why can't somebody else tell me the same story? Which is your barrier. What is the barrier to the industry? Fourth is, why should consumers believe in that story? And fifth is, what do I get from that story? 5 questions, where you get all the money that you want.
I think this is the crux and core of how to start a startup. You answer these 5 questions which Sudeep Ghosh has just mentioned, and I think you are a winner. With that, Sudeep ji, we come to the rapid fire round, and I'm going to ask you a couple of questions, which I think would be easy for you to answer. To start with, if Uppercase has had a motto, what would it be?
Never ordinary. Do things which is
Never ordinary. Same. Your proudest Uppercase moment so far?
When I saw the first signage in a retail counter.
One of the most interesting customer feedbacks that you have received so far?
I have 2 levels of customer, the end consumer and dealers. So from a consumer, I received saying a consumer of mine had gone to Europe to his brother. And when he saw the product, his brother kept that product and gave back 2 of his, I will not name the brand, for him to bring it back, because they said, I'm going to keep this, you take that back. So I think that was one huge compliment that I got. From a dealer, I think one of the dealers said that, sir, आप जो भी launch करोगे हम बेचेंगे, आप launch करो इसीलिए बेचना. So I think other feedback. So I guess there are different levels, but those are the 2 ones that stuck to my mind.
That's the love the dealer community has for you,
Yes.
Yes. Which celebrity would you like to see endorse Uppercase?
I mean, we have not thought about it. As of now, we are very happy with Jaspreet. Maybe as we go in, we would like to bring in a lady, because we would like to, luggage has always been a very male-centric product.
Yes.
And I think it's changing slowly. A lot of women are getting into the purchase decision. So I'd like to bring in a lady, but let's see how it works.
One city in the world where you would love to see your brand's presence?
I think everywhere, every part of the world, I would like to see the brand present. There's no, we have huge aspirations to go international, and we are working towards it. We would like to stabilize our India business and then go international. My target is that whenever we're going in IPO, and which I hope that will go sooner than later, 50% of my business should come from out of the country.
Describe the spirit of Uppercase team in 3 words.
I'll just come in 2 words. We are never ordinary.
Name a brand that you think.
That's 3 words. We are never ordinary. 4 words.
Okay. Name a brand that you think is your closest competitor.
I don't think, the segment that we are working, nobody is working on sustainability, so I don't think they're closest competitor. But I think all the brands have their own strength at their own position. So I would not like to, kind of answer that question.
What is the reason for Uppercase's success?
I mean, it's still long way for success. Success has yet to come to us. But I think whatever little that we have, I think we have got a very clear proposition, and a proposition that is that consumers are liking, the dealers are liking, the production team is liking. So yeah, our proposition is very clear, and therefore, whatever little success we have got is because of that.
Last question: where do you see Uppercase in 5 years' time, if possible, in numbers?
I will not say. I mean, I don't want to get into number game, but I definitely would like to. I mean, it should be a very known travel gear brand in India, and perhaps certain parts of Europe and America.
So one of the known brands in India and Europe and US is what Sudeep Ghosh, aspires Uppercase to be in the next 5 years.
Yes.
I wish Sudeep ji you all the very best. Thanks for joining us today at D2C Dialogues. Thanks for sharing all your insights and connecting, and see you again in the near future. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.